Hey guys, RWC here. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my combined 15 between the Springboks and the All Blacks for this 2023 Rep World Cup. Of course, these two sides will be facing off in the final this week, so I thought what better time than now to give you guys my combined 15 between these two great sides. Before we get into this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and definitely leave a comment below to let me know your combined 15 as well as your thoughts on mine. But yeah, other than that, let's get right into this. So as you can see right here, guys, this is the front row that I've selected for this side. I've gone with the likes of Oxlade number 1. I've gone with Cody Taylor number 2. And Tyrell Lomax at number 3. So, yeah, overall, I think that kind of front row brings, it's pretty balanced, I'd say. Oxlade, I think he's probably been the outstanding, loose head, I think, throughout this tournament so far. He's been very consistent in terms of minutes. I think he's played every game so far. He's the only Bok to actually do that. So, it's pretty impressive to have from an individual standpoint. And again, he's been very impactful off the bench. We saw, throughout the group stages, but particularly in the knockout rounds, from the French game to the English game, when he came on, against the English, he really changed the momentum of the game because him and Vincent Koch as well obviously influenced scrums, and that's what allowed the Boks to kind of move forward and gain a few meters and kind of get that try, obviously, get the penalty at the end of the day. So yeah, he was very influential in that game. So I just felt like he has to be mentioned in that sense. But again, I just think he was also just, I think, better than Steven Kitshoff and Ethan de Groot, I think, so far. I think for what we've seen throughout this tournament. But yeah, in terms of Cody Taylor, he's the guy I've selected number 2. I just think there's not really, I think he is the clear and obvious choice here. Again, maybe people would like to say Bongi Mnambi or Dion Fourie, because both of them have been pretty good, I'd say, for the Boks. But I just think Cody Taylor's been a lot more consistent in the terms of the amount of minutes he's had. And also, he's been pretty good with his line-out throws. I mean, when I look at Bongi Mnambi, that's probably one of the areas he's kind of struggled in, I'd say, throughout this World Cup. And again, Dion Fourie, he's been actually pretty, I'd actually choose him ahead of Bongi Mnambi, I'd say, throughout this World Cup. But I just think Cody Taylor is he's another level, I'd say, compared to Dion Fourie, and he's just another level, in my opinion, to Bongi Mnambi. So for that alone, that's the reason why I selected him at the number 2 spot. And then yeah, Tyrell Lomax, I just think he's been incredible. He's really just a solid kind of tight end to have. And yeah, you can just tell he's made it really, he's just made an impact straight away for this All Black side, particularly from the scrums, because, since he's joined, I believe, in that third game, if I'm not mistaken, since then, he's been, the All Blacks have been pretty dominant from a set piece position. So, yeah, just him and obviously even the Groot on his side, just, that helps a lot. So, yeah, that's the reason why I selected them there. Yeah, so in terms of the locks, I've gone the likes of Eben Etzebeth number 4, as well as Franco Mostert number 5. I think these two have just been so influential for the Boks throughout this tournament. And again, when you're comparing the likes of, Whitelock and Barrett and Retallick, I mean, them 3 have also been pretty impressive. But I just think these two have just individually have just really stood out throughout this tournament. I mean, Eben Etzebeth, of course, he's kind of known as he's still known, I'd say, as the best lock in the world. And he's proved it once again, throughout this competition. And, he's kind of really, he's single-handedly helped the Boks kind of enter into this final. I mean, he's been key for the Boks at times, throughout the knockout stages and the group stages. But and he had that try against the French, which was pretty cool to see, where he kind of just batted his way through. No one was able to stop him. Kind of just placed the ball down, slam dunked it. But and then again, of course, Franco Mostert, he's been all over the place in terms of his tackling and his line-out skills as well. He's been very crucial in that area of the field. But yeah, just Franco Mostert, he's probably been the player with the biggest. I think he's improved the most, I'd say, in this Bok team for what I've seen throughout this World Cup. I think he's had a really big jump. So yeah, I've been pretty impressed by him. Again, I think out of the All Blacks, I think Barrett and Retallick, I mean, all 3 of them, and even Whitelock, all 3 of them have been pretty impressive. But, it's a pretty hard decision, but I just think you can't break this duo up, and Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert. And I think for that reason alone, I had to go with them too. But yeah, in terms of the loose heads I've selected here, I've got the likes of Sia Khaleesi number 6, Sam Cane number 7, and Arna Sevilla at number 8. I think these 3 just kind of pick themselves. Again, I was considering Shannon Vazel and maybe Peterson the Toits, kind of switching out Khaleesi and Kane, because again, it depends on what game you're thinking of, because Vazel was pretty good against the Argentinians, and Peterson Toit has played a lot of minutes, to say, for the Boks, but when it comes down to it, I'd rather have someone like Khaleesi on my side, who's been pretty influential for the Boks. Again, he has come off at around, the 50-minute mark for most games, kind of 55-minute mark, but still, he's just someone you want to have in your side, and he's been pretty good from a tackling from his tackling success. And yeah, he's gained a lot of meters for the box in some games, not every game, but in some games. And yeah, he's just a key figure to have in the squad at the end of the day. So yeah, just Khaleesi definitely is my number 6. And then yeah, Kane, he's proved a lot of people wrong, I'd say, throughout this tournament. So I mean, for that alone, I have to pick Kane. He got I think 22 tackles against the Irish. Like that's the second best. I mean, the second I think most ever from an All Black. I think first is still Richie with 26, if I'm not mistaken, against the Wallabies. But again, Sam Kane, just an unbelievable performance against the Irish, and he did it once more against the Argentinians, not in the fashion he did against the Irish, but still he was pretty good throughout that game, and as well as the group stages. So yeah, he's my number 7 for sure. I mean, yeah, Otis Villa. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, Otis Villa is the number 8. And yeah, he doesn't. I mean, again, the Boks don't really have a first choice 8, which is sad to say because again, they have Dwayne Vermeulen and Jasper Wiese who kind of go back and forth in that position, which isn't a bad thing, by the way, because it's always good to have depth. But when you have someone like Otis Villa, like, man, I would love to have an Otis Villa on my side. Because yeah, he's just awesome. He's awesome, and he's been so good for the All Blacks with the Triple World Cup. And he scored tries at key moments. He scored that try against the Irish in the corner. He got one, I believe. He got a few actually in the group stages. So yeah, just overall, he's just a great player to watch. And yeah, he definitely deserves to be number 8. But yeah, again, that's the 4-pack done. In terms of the back line, I've gone with here. I've gone with the 9-10 combination. I've gone with Smith and Richard Mo'unga as my 9-10 combination here. A bit maybe controversial, maybe not from the 9 perspective, because I think Aaron Smith deserves to be the player there ahead of Fafa Kirk and Cobus Reinach. I just think he's been. Yeah, he's had a really good tournament, I'd say, for the All Blacks. He scored a hat-trick of tries, I believe, in one game. Scored that try, obviously, against the Pumas in the semifinal. And yeah, he's been really good for the All Blacks. So yeah, Aaron Smith is my guy, number 9. And then yeah, number 10, I think Mo'unga. Again, you can make a debate for Libbok and Pollard, but I just think Mo'unga has played more minutes than the two, really. And again, there's not really a debate with Mo'unga. I think he's really just played as number 10. I think every game in this Red Bull Cup. Is that not mistaken? Maybe one actually. Now I think there was actually one game where McKenzie played solid in at number 10. But yeah, besides that, Mo'unga has been very impressive throughout this tournament, and yeah, he has a lot of assists under his belt, and yeah, he has a few tries in there. So yeah, Mo'unga is definitely my guy, number 10. But yeah, in terms of these centers, I've got the likes of Jordy Barrett there, number 12, and Jesse Kulla, number 13. Again, this may be a bit of a controversial pick. Yeah, people might have wanted to see, I don't know, Dibin Jalende and Redko, but I just think these two have been, in my opinion, the more impressive duo, I'd say, well, the more impressive players out of that, kind of 4 that to choose from. And I mean, Jordy Barrett, I don't think there's going to be a lot of debate around him because, he's been just incredible to watch, I'd say, throughout this tournament. And he's been pretty influential in terms of what the All Blacks do, in terms of that kind of their attacking set pieces, because they always use it's like the Mo'unga Jordy kind of combination there that they use as a kind of as a pivot, really. And yeah, Jordy Barrett's kind of been given kind of a playmaking role at the same time. So yeah, he's had more possession of the ball, and with that, obviously, he's been able to kind of create a lot more chances. And yeah, he's just been pretty good in terms of his tackling, and yeah, he scored a few tries in there as well. So yeah, Jordy Barrett definitely number 12. Again, Jesse Krill, a player who's really stood up, I'd say, throughout this year, just going off even before the World Cup. But, just overall, I just think he's been really good for the Boks. Again, there's been Caden Moody, who's had a few minutes there in that 13 jersey. And obviously, there's, you have Andres Dazen, you got Kanyuam, obviously now back on the side, but again, hasn't had any minutes because, this guy, Jesse Krill, he's been great. He's been very good. And that grabber kick again he had against the French, the setup test on Kobe was perfect. One of the best grabber kicks actually I've seen in a while. So yeah, no, Jesse Krill, just incredible player. Really up there, I'd say, for one of the most improved players, I'd say, throughout this tournament. Similar, kind of similar towards Franco Mostert in that sense. But yeah, no, Jesse Krill there, number 13 jersey. But yeah, in terms of the final 3, here it is. I'm going to like Jaslyn Kobe at number 11 jersey, Will Jordan number 14, and Beauden Barrett at number 15. I just think Jaslyn Kobe, he's been electric. His pace alone kind of just gives you kind of that added X factor, which is always something we want on your side. And Will Jordan definitely has a lot of that on the other side at 14. He really is X factor. He's tied now with the record in terms of most amount of tries. I think he has 8, which is mind-blowing to think. But Jaslyn Kobe as well had a few tries as well. He's just I mean, Chesney Kobe and Will Jordan, that's a crazy wing combination. I mean, if that was ever to happen, like if they're able to play in the future like together, I mean, the opposing team would be pretty pretty worried. That's for sure. They wouldn't even know who to mark. But yeah, of course, Budden Bear as well has had a very impressive tournament. Really, just a player who's kind of he's been very I guess relaxed at the same time because he knows his role. At 15 again. He's kind of stepped out of the big moments, and it's just allowed players to kind of I don't know, move around. And he's been able to find players in the right moments. So yeah, Budden Bear, I just think has to be the 15. Again, Williamson is probably the player I think would have to kind of was probably the closest one to kind of go in this position. And I was actually considering Williamson. I had Williamson originally in, but I just thought the more I thought about it, I just think Beauden Barrett's been so good for the All Blacks, I think, recently. And I think a lot of people sleep on what he's been doing kind of from an attacking point of view. But yeah, anyway, that's my starting 15 there. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to our channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.